Now that the state of Maine is no longer paying for school bus routing software, transportation directors and routers are fighting to keep Transfinder as their software of choice.
I don't know if you guys know, but Maine eliminated their contract this year, and my superintendent came to Alyssa and said, "Do you really need this program?" And I looked at her and I said, "I don't think I can stay if you take Transfinder away from me." I told her that if my superintendent decided that Transfinder was not worth the money for this year, that we needed to call a meeting. I was adamant that I needed to have my Transfinder program. Like, I couldn't do my job without it. I needed to have a meeting if he was taking it away. I was going to fight.
Kayla, my assistant, and I really focused on getting everything in the software, getting the routes built, and then focusing on things like after school routes. So it's so nice now I can go in, I have a student that has 5 or 6 plans for them, and you can see it right on the grid. It's all very right there.
Before I came in, all of the routes were on Google Sheets. They were just adding stops as kids were coming in. They were not taking kids off as kids were leaving. So the routes were just getting built and built and built and not being taken away. No one had an overview of what each bus was doing because each bus was on a Google Sheet. Without the routing program, you had no way to look at who was doing what. So if this bus was showing up and then this other bus was showing up 10 minutes later, you had no clue that they were overlapping. The routes were horrendous. The buses were basically going in circles. Transfinder saved my life because now I can do a normal hours a week. I can do a 40-hour week and still maintain a life because we've built the database to be effective, and I can see my kids and I can route my kids.
It builds in optimizing the routes that you're using, that you can look at these routes and you can actually gain time back, save on mileage or fuel, waiting time, deadheading. You can look at all of this, whereas before it was a concept that you could never bring to your boss. You couldn't bring that to your boss. They would kind of look at you and be like, prove it. So now you can prove out all of those things. It makes such a difference when you're routing, and it makes you feel more professional.
The first year we had like 12 to 13 buses being canceled sometimes. And we're down to almost no buses being canceled because once you've made your buses more efficient, you need less bus drivers.